So as you come into a seat, slide something underneath your pelvis. We're going to bring the soles of the feet together, but far away. So there's lots of space. There's this big diamond-shaped space for baby and belly. And I want you to just start by sitting up tall, rolling your shoulders up towards your ears, letting them slide down the back and just be heavy. And then you're just going to let your torso and your pelvis and your belly and your head come forward. So everything can round forward as long as that feels good for you. We want no pressure in the hands or the arms, so they're just relaxed wherever feels best for you. And you can kind of hang out and add movement, or if you prefer, you can just be still and breathe. So we're going to start by taking a big, deep breath into the back of the body. Exhale everything out. Again, big, deep breath, back of the body. Exhale, soften into this. And then just breathe. Deep, slow, and steady. And every time you exhale, try to soften, try to let go. Start to send your breath into areas that feel like they need it. Those areas that might feel a little tight or stuck. And then every time you exhale, let go, soften. Remember, your exhalation is your relaxation breath. And as you melt into this pose, just take a moment here to arrive. Check in with your body. How are you feeling tonight, physically, mentally? And then check in with your baby. When you come out of this pose, you're going to do so really, really slowly, starting by moving the pelvis into neutral and then stacking the vertebrae, one right on top of the other. The head is going to rise last. We're going to root down through the sits bones, lengthen up through the crown of the head. Relax your shoulders. You can take both hands to your baby or one hand to your heart, one hand to your baby. Take a few slow, deep breaths, expanding through the rib cage. Inhale, reach the arms out and up, stretch the fingertips towards the sky. Exhale, hands to the heart. We'll do that again. Big breath. Sigh it out this time. Take your left hand back behind you. This is going to help you keep your spine nice and long. Take your right hand either to your right knee or you can take it to your left thigh. Twisting from the rib cage up to the crown of the head, gazing over the left shoulder. Sweeping back to center. Taking that easy twist to the other side. You can take your left hand to the left leg or to the right leg, focusing on that length, twisting from the rib cage up. Feeling back into your center, you're going to slide your left leg out, slight angle. We're making this V shape with the thighs as the right leg comes in towards the groin. You're going to flex the toes up, but keep your knee nice and soft. And from here, you're sitting up really tall. You're just going to spill forward, walking the hands forward, lengthening through the spine. Back of the neck is long, heart is lifted. Come on back to center. Take your right hand slightly behind you. Reach your left arm up. Come back. You're going to take this left hand to the inside of your leg and just slide it down, keeping your belly button forward as much as you can. Stop wherever you need to. Press your arm into your leg so you can kind of twist over to the right very slightly. And then sweep the right arm up, maybe over wherever you have space. You can move back and forth. You're going to pull yourself up on an inhale. Plant the right hand once again. Left arm reaches up. Come on back. We're going to take that stretch one more time. Hand slides down the leg. Arm reaches up, maybe over. Inhale back. Plant the right hand. Left arm sweeps up. Come on back to your center. You're going to go ahead and help that left leg in. Take that right leg out. Flexing the toes, so this leg is active. It's kind of like you're trying to bring the thigh in towards the hip joint. Sit up tall and then come forward, walking the hands forward, keeping everything long so you have lots of space and lots of length. I'd like to add in a little rocking here if that feels nice. And then you'll walk it back. Left hand comes slightly behind, sweep it up. Reach, create space, lifting up out of the hip, out of the rib. Inhale, come back, hand comes to the inside of the thigh. You're going to reach down just until you need to stop. So it's all about space. Try not to feel cramped. If you do, you're going to come out a little bit. We're pressing gently into that leg, lifting the heart, lifting baby, reaching the arm up or over or in and out. On an inhale, you're going to pull yourself out. Plant the left hand, reach the left arm up. We'll come back into it. Hand slides down the inside of the leg. Open up. Last one, bring it back. And reach. And then we'll come down that leg one more time. And reverse. Sweep it up. And come on back to center. So from here, we're going to transition into tabletop. Take your time as you do so. Gently hug your baby in so you have a little bit of core engagement. And find hands and knees. So we're going to take our knees a little wider and our hands a little bit more forward. So from here, we're going to come back into kind of a child's pose. We're going to keep the hips lifted slightly. So we're not going to go all the way back. And if it feels okay, you can relax your head to the mat. We're going to inhale here, relax the belly, relax the pelvic floor. As you exhale, you're going to lift your pelvic floor, hug your baby in, belly button in and up, rounding the spine, floating up. Good. Inhale, come back. Let everything relax. Exhale, lift the pelvic floor. Zip your belly button in and up. Hug your baby in. Gentle rounding the spine, tucking the tailbone. Inhale, come back. Everything softens. Relax your pelvic floor. Relax your belly. We'll do 2 more rounds with your breath. Exhale, lift the pelvic floor. Belly in and up, round. Inhale, untuck the tailbone. Everything relaxes. Last one. Nice and slow. Pause. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Exhale, stick the tongue out. Float your way back up into tabletop. Set yourself up so your wrists are under your shoulders or slightly forward. Slide your shoulders back, back of the neck long. Very gently hug your baby in. And we're just going to wag the tailbone. So you're going to take your feet over to the left, and then you're going to turn your gaze to look at your feet. Your tailbone and your hips are going to go to your right. And then you'll do the opposite. Feet go to the right, gaze to the right, tailbone and hips to the left. And then just side to side a couple times. Bring it back to center. You're going to take your left hand. You're going to center it right in front of you. So there's a little bit of an angle here. We want that angle to take the pressure off the wrists. You're then going to kick your left foot back behind you and straighten your right leg. So when you look down, your hand, your knee, and your foot are all aligned. You'll then hug your baby in and reach your arm up towards the ceiling, maybe overhead. So we want to hug baby in. You can move this arm around, maybe draw some circles. You want to feel the muscle, the transverse abdominals wrap around your baby for support. It's going to protect your back and support your baby. Keeping that gentle engagement through your core, you're going to slowly lower back down into hands and knees. We're going to curl the toes underneath and sit back towards the heels. So if you need to, you can always untuck the toes. We're just going to be here for a moment. Working into the wrists, rotating circles in all directions, back and forth. Shake out the wrists. Uncurl the toes, come to your knees. We're going to reach the arms out and up. Inhale. Exhale, bend the elbows. Slightly lift the heart. Sweep it up. Lower back down into tabletop. Taking that side plank on the opposite side. So your right hand is going to come slightly forward. Kick your right foot back. Straighten your left leg. Find that alignment. Hug your baby in. Lift your baby up. And then sweep that arm up and over. You can hold it. You can draw movement. What feels good to you tonight? Where can you create some more space? And then slowly with control, you're going to lower back down. Finding tabletop. We're going to draw some circles with the hips. And then take it in the opposite direction. And coming back to center, we're going to find a squat at the back of the mat. So either a full squat or a half squat. If you have something nearby, you're always welcome to hold on to that. So half squat or or that was a full squat, or a half squat. So honoring your body, where do you need to be tonight? Relax your jaw, breathe down past your baby. Can you breathe into your pelvis? Can you feel that spaciousness that the squat creates? So when we squat, we're opening the pelvis, creating more space for baby, giving the pelvic floor a nice stretch. And then we're going to slowly lower back down. Return to table. Maybe stretch one leg out and then the other. We're going to grab our cushions, whatever you were sitting on, you're going to slide it back underneath you. And you're going to take your feet over to the right. Did that backwards. To the right. So you're going to try, if it feels okay in your body, to set that left shin up parallel to the mat. And then the right shin is right parallel to the opposite side. So from here, some of us may feel like this right hip is lifting off of the mat. We want to try our best to root it down. This is where the cushion can come in handy. So sometimes elevating the hips, sliding a little cushion under one side could be helpful. We're root down through the pelvis. So I want you to try your best to relax into the hips here and then just lift up. Everything is long, lots of space. Hands come down by your side. Relax your shoulders so you can get a little taller. And for some of us, this feels hard. So if your hips are feeling achy, I want you to just stay here and breathe. Otherwise, we're going to open up into the right side, reaching the right arm up, maybe slightly over. And then bring it back. Switch it up, lengthen, maybe over. Bring it back. Hands are going to slide behind you, a little bit of back bend. Press the shoulder blades together, lift the heart. Back of the neck is long. Option 1, hang out here. Option 2, squeeze the glutes, hug your baby in and up, lift your hips off the mat. Lift your gaze. Lower down. Root down through both of the sits bones. And then go ahead and take the legs out in front. We're going to shake it out. So these asymmetrical positions are all going to help balance the pelvis, balance the pelvic floor, and help baby position. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. And also, if you think about it, we do really need to work into our hips to prepare for pushing. Because pushing is hard work, and if our hips are tight and we start to push, sometimes they can actually kind of spasm on us, making it a lot more challenging. So moving in a variety of different ways is going to make it easier when we get there. And if you found this really uncomfortable, use your support. I encourage you to practice this at home and just sit on the floor like this every once in a while. The more that we do it, the easier it will be. We're creating that space. Our pelvis feels supported. You can stay here or take a side bend, opening into the ribs. Right arm reaches up or left arm reaches up. Doesn't matter which side you do. And then switch. So just creating space. Come back. Hands behind. Press the shoulder blades together. We're going to keep that length through the back of the neck, whether you stay here or you lift. If you decide to lift, hug your baby in. Lift your pelvic floor. Breathe. lower down nice and slow. Stack everything back up. From this position, we'll transition back into hands and knees. Take your time. Spreading your fingers. We're just going to draw some circles, releasing into the hips. And then take it in the opposite direction. Coming back to center. Curl your toes. Baby in and up. On an exhalation, you're going to lift your hips up and back. So you're going to do so very slowly and very mindfully, feeling that engagement. And then just walk it out. Pedaling the heels. Lifting the tailbone towards the sky. Pausing, taking a soft bend in the knees. Walk the feet out. Lift the tailbone. Push the top of the mat away. We're going to take a lion's breath here. In through the nose. Out through the mouth. Stick the tongue out. Walk your hands towards your feet. So if a wide leg forward fold feels okay for you, you can hang out here. Sway a little bit side to side. Or bend into the knee. Rock the hips side to side. Finding center, soft bend in the knees. We'll all press the hands into the thighs. Lift the head, lift the heart, and pause. Finding that length, rooting down through the feet. We're going to press firmly into the feet and come to stand. Let the shoulders come down the back. So we're going to take a moment and just shake everything off. And then I want you to imagine that you're walking. And then just stop. Root down through your feet. Soften your knees. So make sure your knees are not locked out. Find your neutral pelvis. So we're not sticking the tailbone out so much. We're not over tucking. Kind of right in that middle ground. Sits bones are pointing to the floor. Take your hands to your low belly. A little bit of engagement. The front ribs are heavy. So the front ribs are dropping down towards the baby. And you're lengthening up through the crown of the head. So I just want you to feel that alignment. As you made those check-ins and those adjustments, check back in with your feet. Make sure you're rooting through all four corners of your feet. Make sure your shoulders are relaxed. Just let them slide down the back on their own without forcing them back. So you can get a little taller here. So this is your neutral posture. It might feel a little bit like work. That's okay. Staying nice and grounded here. You're just going to reach your arms out and up. Inhale. And then as you exhale, you're going to bring your arms down by your side. Do that again. Inhale the arms out and up. Exhale by your side. A couple more times. I want you to slow your exhale down. So it's going to take you longer to bring your arms back down by your side than it does to float them up. It can be helpful to constrict the back of your throat as you do this. It's going to make the exhale lengthen. Lengthening the exhalation taps into the body's natural relaxation response. Take one more round. Let the arms be heavy. And just notice how you feel. You're going to take a big step. Left foot is going to come forward. So nice big step. We're in warrior one. Feet are wide. Hips and belly are squaring forward. We're going to bend into that front knee. Press firmly into that back foot. I want you to check in with your pelvis here. Make sure we're not sticking the tailbone out. We're still in that neutral pelvis. Little bit of engagement through the core. And then we're going to float the arms up. Turn your pinkies in, so your pinkies are pointing towards each other. Relax the shoulders down the back. Soften into the shoulders. Press firmly into the feet. Reach through your fingertips. Find your breath here. Release your hands down by your side. Step to the top of your mat. You're going to find that same standing pose that you were just in. Rooting down. Stack it all up. Soft front ribs. Gentle core engagement. Soft knees. Press firmly through your feet. We're going to inhale the arms up. You're going to keep your arms up and you're going to send your hips back, finding just a little baby chair. So in our chair, our pelvis is neutral. So if you come back into the chair and you feel like you're sticking your tailbone up too much and you're crunching the low back, see if you can change the position of your pelvis. Hug your baby in and up. Pinkies in, relax your shoulders. Take a lion's breath here, deep breath in. Exhale through the mouth. Inhale, press through the feet, come to stand. Release your arms. Roll out the shoulders. Let the shoulders slide down the back. We're going to take a big step back with our left foot. Sink in, take a wider stance if you need it. Bend the front knee. Everything squares forward, press into the back foot. Arms sweep up, pinkies turn in. It's going to help you soften into your shoulders. Root through your feet, reach up through your fingertips, and breathe. So the breath will change when the positions feel a little more challenging. We're just staying connected to that. We're in control of the breath. Release the hands. Step to the top of the mat. Find that stance. Your feet are as wide as feels grounded for you. Check in. We're not over tucking. We're not sticking the tailbone out. A little bit of engagement through the core. Shoulders are relaxed. Get a little taller. Breathe into it. We're going to shake it all off. So thinking about that neutral position as you move through different positions, both in yoga and off, on the mat and off the mat. There we go. So wherever you're at, you're going to take a wide stance, as wide as feels comfortable for you. We're going to get nice and long through the spine. And then you're going to pivot your toes out slightly. Pivot the toes, lots of length. We're just going to bring the hands to the heart and sink down into a squat. So tailbone is really heavy, and we're trying to keep length in the spine. So see if you can sink into that, see if you can reach out of that. And we're going to hang out here for a few breaths. So while we're here, you can move, you can press into your thighs, you can move your hands around, whatever you need to do. Just breathe. Focus on that exhalation. The exhalation is your relaxation breath. Maybe you want to focus on your baby. Maybe you want to release some tension from the neck or the jaw. Just hanging out in this squat. So we're building stamina. we're coping with discomfort. Then you're going to find your center wherever that is. Bring your hands back to your heart. Press really firmly through your feet. Inhale, come up. And then exhale, bring your hands down by your side. You can pivot your toes forward here if that feels okay. You're going to take your hands to your thighs and just start to come down into a fold. You're going to take your hands wherever you can. If you have a block, you can grab a block here. It might be handy. But we're going to pivot our left toes to the left so you can bend into that knee. And then you're going to walk your hands over towards the left, but walk them away from your body, away from your mat so you have space for your baby. Check in with your breath. The ankle and knee are on top of each other, or the knee is behind the ankle. So just make sure that it doesn't come forward of the ankle here. And then we're going to switch it up. You're going to come back to center, adjust the left toes, pivot your right toes out, bend into that knee, and then walk the hands away. So it's like we're in a half standing squat. Lengthen through the crown of the head, always creating space. And then we'll bring it back to center, finding that length. Maybe rocking into your hips if that feels good. I just want you to feel the space that leaning forward creates in the low back. So when we lean forward, we're encouraging the heaviest part of baby, which is their back, their spine, to slide towards your belly button, which is where we want it to be. And it's taking the weight of your baby off of your back. So it's a nice release. This feels really great during labor. A lot of women lean forward in a variety of different positions. Bend into the knees, pivot the toes out. You're going to press into your thigh and come back up. Heel toe your feet in or step in, nice and easy. And then just let all that go. So from here, we'll transition to the back of our mat. This time we're going to take the feet wide. So feet are going to be as wide as the mat, very slightly pointed out. Finding your neutral posture. Breathing into it. So we're pressing down, we're lengthening up. We're going to press really firmly down, energetically, reach the arms up, inhale. Exhale, hands to your heart, bow forward, bend your knees, lift your tailbone up towards the sky, head and heart stay aligned. We're going to bring the hands down. Walk the hands forward. Take your hands over to the right. So you're going to step your left foot forward. So ankle and knee right on top of each other. You're going to take your time and press yourself up into your low lunge. Hips are square, shoulders down and back. So I want you to press your outer hips towards your midline like you're trying to hug your baby in. This is going to help you stay stable through your pelvis. We're going to reach the arms up. We're just going to move the right arm. So you're going to take your right arm back and around. So it's like you're swimming backwards, but we're only using the right arm here. Trying to stay stable through the pelvis. The next time that you reach that right arm up, reach, inhale, exhale, bend the elbows, sweep it up, inhale, exhale, hands come down to the outside of the mat, lots of space, slide this back ankle in at an angle, and then draw your circles, drawing circles with the hip. Opposite direction. So this is a position that I see a lot in birth, lots of different variations and varieties. We'll bring it back. Then you're going to move slowly, step your left foot back. You're going to transition into tabletop. Walk your hands slightly forward. Hug your baby in and up. You're going to lengthen. Come down into a halfway push-up. Push back. Down. Back. Elbows in. Baby hugged in and up. So the core is on here. Do one more. Take your knees wide. Sink back into your child's pose. Relax your head. Maybe create a pillow for your head if you need to. And I want you to feel the softening. Release, let go. Pelvic floor is soft, core is soft. Float back up, tabletop. Walk your hands to the left. Exhale, step your right foot forward. Take your time, press everything towards the midline. Come on up. We're balancing through the pelvis, creating that stability. Float the arms up. This time we're going to move just the left arm. Drawing it back and around. So stable through your hips. This way you're not opening up as you draw your circle. Next time the arm reaches up towards the sky, pause. Inhale, reach. Exhale, bend the elbows, open the heart. Sweep it up. Hands come down, lots of space for baby. Slide your left ankle in and draw your circles. Take it in the opposite direction. Bring it back. Step it back into tabletop. Walk your hands slightly forward. Slide your shoulders back. Hug your baby in. Elbows in. Mini push-ups. Keep your core engaged. 2 more. Find your child's pose. This time either create a pillow or take your thumbs to the back of your neck. And wherever you're at, you're going to soften. Relax your belly, relax your pelvic floor, relax your jaw. Finding that balance between strength and softness. Pressing back up, we're going to sit on the heels. So you can have your knees as wide as you need for this. I'm just going to sit back. And if sitting like this is really uncomfortable, you can slide one of your props in between the legs, or you can just find a comfortable seat. So nice neutral pelvis. Lengthen up. Soften the ribs. Relax your arms. So we're going to draw those circles backwards. We're going to use both arms this time. So you're going to take one arm up and back, and then the other one. moving through your range of motion, honoring however your upper body is feeling tonight. And then go ahead and bring it back. Relax your arms. Roll the shoulders up, back, down, again, up, back, and down. Shake it off. Go ahead and release the feet from underneath you. Take them out in front. Lean back, point, and flex. When we sit that way, it actually increases blood flow through the legs. Just get that blood moving through the lower body. Rotate your ankles. Opposite direction. And then we'll come back to our sits bones. We're going to bring the soles of the feet together. This time we're going to bring them a little bit closer than we did before. So if that feels okay for you, you're going to bring them closer than you did at the beginning of class, reaching for any place that you can. You're getting really long through the spine. Energetically pressing the thighs towards the floor. You can stay here, rock, or bounce, or you can bring your heart forward. So this time we're trying to keep the spine long. Before we rounded forward, now we're trying to keep that length through the spine, bring the heart towards the toes, press the tailbone back behind you. Coming on back to center, you're going to take your hands to your outer thighs. Bring the knees in, soles of the feet to the floor. Space for baby, hands back. You're going to drop your legs over to one side. Lengthen through your knees. And then just lengthen through your chest and your spine. It's like a little bit of a twist. And then take it to the other side. Lengthen. Lift your chest. Create some space. And then drop side to side a couple of times, back and forth. When you feel ready, bringing it back to center, we're going to make our way into relaxation. So any position that you would like to rest in, go ahead and make yourself comfortable. Grab your props. Get nice and cozy. So as you move around here and get comfortable, let go of any control of your breath. Start to feel your body melt into the surface beneath you. Just begin to imagine a beautiful garden. And in this garden, there is a space for you to plant some seeds. And these seeds that you can plant, they can be attributes that you would like your baby to have, attributes that you would like yourself to have as a mother. And just take a moment and plant those seeds. And whatever they stand for. And once you've planted your seed, notice how it begins to rain. And then the clouds break up. Bright sunlight starts to shine through, warming your skin, shining down on those seeds that you've just planted. And just start to see those seeds blossom and grow. Those seeds are another part of this beautiful garden, or another part of this journey. Begin to envision your baby in the womb, relaxed, happy, and healthy. And just feel your baby's energy moving up towards your heart. Take a nice deep breath down to your baby. And then take a nice deep breath for yourself. You thank yourself for taking time out tonight for your practice. And then whenever you feel ready, start to wiggle your toes and your fingers. Circle your ankles and your wrists. And just stretch it out. Take any movement that you feel like you need. And whenever you feel ready, if you like, you can roll to your side and press yourself up. We'll meet seated, one hand on your heart, one hand on your baby. Just taking a couple of breaths here to close out your practice. Just seal in this feeling, knowing that it's there for you whenever you need it. On your next inhale, take a deep breath, reach it up. Exhale, sigh it out. One more time, deepest breath you've taken all day so far. And let it go. Bring your hands to your heart in gratitude. Just feeling thankful for this experience, for all of the blessings and all of the challenges. I thank you so much for joining me.